Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu visited the site of the deadly shooting attack at a Jerusalem bus stop on Monday and vowed to pursue those involved. According to Associated Press, Palestinian attackers opened fire at a bus stop at a busy intersection in North Jerusalem on Monday, killing 6 people and injuring another 12, according to Israeli police, emergency rescue services and local hospitals. Police said the attackers shot people waiting at the bus stop. An Israeli soldier and civilian who were at the scene shot and killed the attackers, police said. Netanyahu arrived at the scene some 2 hours after the shooting. "We are now in pursuit, sieging the villages from which the murderers came. And we will get everyone who helped them, everyone who sent them, and we will carry out even tougher measures," Netanyahu as he visited the scene.
Bu sabah İzmir'den hepimizi derinden sarsan acı bir haber aldık. Balçova Salih İşgören Polis Merkezi'ne yönelik silahlı saldırı sonucunda 2 polisimiz şehit oldu, 2 emniyet görevlimiz de yaralandı. Hadisenin faili olan 16 yaşındaki bir şahıs yakalanmıştır. Bağlantıları araştırılmaktadır. Tüm emniyet teşkilatımızın başı sağ olsun diyorum.
Attım silah. At silahı lan. Ambulanslar. Vur. Vur. Vur. Vur. Vur. Vur. Vur. Bombalar. Bombalar. Kaç. Çeker. Abi vur onu. Vur onu. Vur onu. Vur. Vur. Vur abi vur. Vur abi vur. Vur abi. Abi bak vur şuradan vur. Ayağından vur. Ayağından vur. Abi vurulur zaten vurulur. Vurulur zaten. Oğlum sıksana. Sık.
Panic-stricken reports about an emergency in the occupied Luhansk region are being spread on Russian Z channels. According to anonymous sources, about 300 prisoners who had previously been recruited into assault units of the Russian army have escaped from a military training ground in the so-called LNR, maximum attention. About 300 stormtroopers escaped from the training ground in the LNR, all from the penal colonies. I can't say anything about weapons, but maximum attention. Warn everyone as much as possible. They won't necessarily advance in a crowd. Keep that in mind too, the message says. Although there is no official confirmation of this information yet, such cases have been recorded more than once. The Russian practice of sending convicts to the front, including for serious crimes, regularly leads to escapes within the aggressor's troops. Recruitment of prisoners became widespread back in 2022 when the founder of the Wagner PMC, Yevgeny Prigozhin, personally visited prisons and agitated convicts to join the ranks of mercenaries. In exchange, they were promised amnesty and cash payments. Later, after Prigozhin's mutiny and the actual defeat of Wagner, this scheme was completely adopted by the Russian Defense Ministry. It was this practice that became one of the factors in the disintegration of the Russian army. People without military experience and motivation were sent to the front, which led to huge losses and an increase in the criminalization of troops. Over time, regular units were mixed with criminals, which sharply undermined combat effectiveness and increased chaos in the command. The incident in Luhansk is yet another confirmation that the military mobilization system in Russia is bursting at the seams. The mass escape of hundreds of armed people in the occupied territory poses a threat not only to the local population but also to the Russian occupation structures themselves. Experts say that prisoners and criminals of the Russian army will drown Russia in a wave of crime. Federal government sources admit that even now, the system is struggling to cope with the influx of men returning from the front, many of whom suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, alcoholism, and aggression. If thousands of people return at once, the system will simply collapse, says one official. In Russia, there are practically no specialized rehabilitation centers or narrow-profile psychologists. Attempts to train students for this work do not inspire confidence even among the officials themselves. A senior, shell-shocked military man will not listen to a young student, the Ministry of Labor states. According to Fari Daily sources, the first year after the end of the war will be a year of mass drinking binges, a surge in violence and domestic crimes. A sharp increase in murders and serious crimes committed by former military personnel is already being recorded. According to the investigation by Verstka, in just 3 years of war, the heroes of the SVO killed and maimed more than 750 people. 378 people died, 376 were seriously injured. Most often, these crimes are associated with drunken domestic conflicts. The geography of the crimes covers 80 Russian regions, including annexed Crimea and Sevastopol. I'm a hero, I fought for you, and you are rear rats. With such aggression, many of them return home. They consider society to be indebted to them, but instead of gratitude, they face reality and take it out on their loved ones.
Ukrainian Armed Forces Unmanned Systems Forces again attacked the Druzhba pipeline, which the aggressor uses to pump its oil to the European market. A major fire broke out at the energy facility. A video with the results of the operation was published on Telegram by the SBS commander Robert Madyar Bravdi. The target was the Linear Production Control Station 8N in the village of Natopovichi, which is in the Bryansk region of the Russian Federation. Good evening, we are from Ukraine. Within the boundaries of the voyage by Russian oil tankers. The facility is of strategic importance for the transportation of oil products from Belarusian oil refineries to the Russian Federation, in particular, from the Moser and Novopolotsk oil refineries, Madyar wrote. He specified that the operation was successfully carried out by units of the 14th SBS Regiment, as well as the missile forces and artillery of Ukraine. To be continued. We are waiting for Russian groans and gasps in open sources. It is interesting there. Gasoline is becoming a scarce liquid, and gas and oil are fast burning, added the SBS commander. The unmanned systems forces have previously attacked Druzhba oil pipeline facilities several times. In August 2025, at least 17 strikes were carried out on Russian oil refineries, storage facilities, and pumping stations, including the Oneka Druzhba station and the Nikolskoye Transneft Druzhba oil pumping station. The Oneka oil pumping station was attacked on August 13 and 22, causing a fire, and on August 18, a strike on the Nikolskoye station completely stopped oil pumping through Druzhba. Ukrainian forces are demonstrating a growing ability to target key parts of Russia's energy pipelines. The attacks on the Druzhba pipeline show how infrastructure previously considered secure is becoming vulnerable. This affects not only Russia but also its oil-consuming countries, including Hungary and Slovakia, which have repeatedly protested the disruptions. Kiev says attacks on Russian fuel facilities are intended to undermine Moscow's war effort and disrupt its supply chains. Ukraine has repeatedly targeted Druzhba in recent weeks, causing temporary disruptions to shipments.